Welcome to the Craftessa, everyone. My name is Vanessa, and for today's DIYs, we're going to make a few Halloween pieces using items from the Dollar Tree. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, where I post super quick and easy videos, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure to hit the little bell button to get notified when I post new videos. Now let's get on with today's project. For the first project, we're going to use this plastic serving container from the Dollar Tree. You can find it in the party section where all their plastic pieces are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the label and then we're going to get ready to paint it. I'm going to use two different types of paint. I'm going to use the Folk Art chalk paint in white and the Delta ceramic coat in gold. Now the white paint is going to be used for the top portion and the gold is going to be used for the base. I'm using one of the sponge brushes from the Dollar Tree and I'm painting the inside of the container because I still want it to have that shiny look. And if you paint the plastic on the outside, obviously it's going to be matte with the chalk paint. So let's continue this. Now that the top portion is dry, I'm going to paint the bottom pedestal part and I'm going to use the gold metallic paint. I'm going to do the same process. I'm going to paint the underside of the pedestal. This way it will still have that shiny appearance of the plastic part. So let's do this. So now that the entire container is dry, I'm going to attach these little skeleton hands. They're from the Dollar Tree. I painted them with the same metallic gold paint, and I'm going to glue them or hot glue them all around the container in order to give it a little glam skeleton look, I guess. So I'm going to use some hot glue on the bottom part of each of the hands and attach them to the sides of the container. So let's continue. So now this project is done and I absolutely love the way that it turned out. Now let's move on to project number 2. For project number 2, we're going to create a ghost candle. These are wooden shapes from the Dollar Tree and I'm going to attach them to a glass container that I had from a previous candle. So I'm going to take some Folk Art multi-surface paint in white and I'm going to give each of these ghosts at least 2 coats of paint. So let's continue. So now that the ghosts are dry, I'm going to take some Mod Podge along with very fine white glitter, and I'm going to coat each of the ghosts with glitter in order to give it a little sparkle. So let's continue with this step. While I let the Mod Podge and glitter dry, I'm going to work on the candle itself. I'm going to attach some wicks along with the sticky tabs that they come with. I got these on Amazon and I will link them below. The container that I'm going to use is a container that I had with the previous candle. And once the candle was done, I washed the glass and now I'm going to reuse it. So let's attach the wicks so we can start this process. So I'm going to take 2 of these Dollar Tree pillar candles. You can find them in the candle section. It's going to take 2 to fill this container, and I'm going to place them in a pot of boiling water. This process takes about 20 to 30 minutes. And once that is done, you can pour your wax into the container and let it dry for about 2 to 3 hours. So while the candle fully dries and settles, I'm going to create a base for the candle. I'm going to take this piece of wood, which is in a circle shape, along with a folk art chalk paint, and I'm going to create a base. Now this wood piece, you can find it in the Crafters Square section of the Dollar Tree. Now using the same chalk paint, I'm going to give it 2 coats and I'm going to let it dry before we continue. Now that the wood base is dry, I'm going to take this trim. It's actually a sticker. They're black beads. So I'm going to put this around the edge of the circle in order to give it a little pop. Now, these are not from the Dollar Tree. I got these at a discount store, but I'm pretty sure that you can probably get something similar online. So I'm going to attach a little bit of hot glue in order for this not to fall off. It does have a sticky backside, but since it's going on wood, it might not attach properly. So let's finish this. The next step is I'm going to take some E6000 glue along with hot glue, and I'm going to attach the little ghosts to the glass container itself, all around it. I'm not going to attach them to the base, and I'm not going to attach the candle to the base either, just in case I want to use this candle for something else, or put it without the base. So let's continue by adding the ghosts to the candle. Now the candle is ready to display, and I really think it turned out adorable, and it's a great way to recycle old glass, and it's perfect for Halloween. Now let's move on to the next project. For this next project, I'm going to take one of the Dollar Tree stove covers along with a candlestick. That's also from the Dollar Tree. You can find it in the candle section, and a piece of scrapbook paper. I purchased this piece of scrapbook paper at Hobby Lobby. It was 99 cents. I chose this checkered pattern because I want to use this now for Halloween as one of my Halloween decor pieces in my coffee bar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the stove cover on top of the scrapbook paper, and I'm going to trace its diameter, and then I'm going to cut it. So let's continue with this part. So now that that piece is cut, I'm going to put it to the side for now, and I'm going to use some Apple Barrel Craft beige gloss paint in order to paint the round edge or the trim of the stove cover, because it's too white and this scrapbook paper has a beige tone to it. So I'm going to give it 2 coats around the edge. Let's continue. So now that the paint is dry, the next step is to adhere the piece of scrapbook paper onto the stove cover. I'm going to use Mod Podge. I'm going to place a nice layer of the Mod Podge on the stove cover, and once that's done, or the piece of paper is placed on it, we're going to coat the paper itself with another layer of Mod Podge. So let's continue with this part. While the Mod Podge cures and dries, I'm going to paint the candlestick. I'm going to use 2 different types of paint. I'm going to use the black multi-surface paint by Folk Art and the same beige paint by Apple Barrel Crafts that I used for the edge of the stove cover. And I'm going to mix these 2 in order to hopefully get a more muted beige tone. I want it to look a little bit dark and a little bit beige. So I'm not going to measure anything. I'm just going to go at it and give it the 2 coats of paint. So let's continue. So now that everything is dry, it's time to place this piece together. And I'm going to use some hot glue and E6000 in order for this not to fall apart, because I do want to put something heavy on it. So by using the E6000 and the hot glue, we're going to attach the candlestick to the top portion, which is the stove cover. So let's continue. So now this piece is done and it's ready to display. I love the way that it turned out. It has a vintagey, spooky vibe to it. All of these projects were fun to make and easy while using Dollar Tree supplies. Let me know which one you like the most. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell button to get notified when I post new videos. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. See you all on my next DIY.